Welcome. You're listening to Ask the Doulas, a podcast where we talk to experts from all over the country about topics related to pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and early parenting. Let's chat.
Hello. This is Kristen Revere with Ask the Doulas, and I am so excited to chat with Mariana Yancik today. She is one of our pediatric sleep consultants, and she also happens to be a certified newborn care specialist and former postpartum doula with over a decade of experience supporting families through the earliest stages of parenthood. Mariana has spent over 10 years working hands-on with newborns, infants, babies, and toddlers, guiding exhausted parents through those tender, overwhelming first months. After becoming a herself, her passion for sleep deepened even more, and she experienced firsthand how dramatically sleep impacts a mother's mental health, confidence, marriage, and overall well-being. Today, she specializes in helping families with newborns and older kids to create predictable routines and achieve restorative, independent sleep. Her approach is structured, yet deeply compassionate and responsive. She believes sleep is not about rigidity or extremes. It is about clarity, consistency, and giving parents the support they were never meant to navigate alone. Her goal is simple, peaceful nights and thriving families. Welcome, Mariana.
Thanks, Kristen. So glad to be here. Thanks for this opportunity. I'm really excited about this.
I'm excited that you are passionate about sleep shaping for newborns, and that is our topic today. So let's dive into it, and I'll bring my first question to you. Can you train a newborn to sleep well?
Yes and no. I would say I don't believe in training, like fully sleep training a newborn, but there are a lot of things that we could do. They sleep shaping, how we call it, to establish healthy sleep foundations from day one. So then this baby has those foundations as he grows. And then it's not training, but sometimes when you have those healthy sleep foundations in place, you don't even need to sleep train. It goes very smooth, the process.
I agree. And being a former postpartum doula, you understand that that's basically what in-home overnight postpartum doula or a daytime doula with the napping can help do, is that general sleep shaping. But not everyone can afford or has a doula in their area that can be able to help them implement some techniques. So the fact that you offer virtual sleep shaping newborn consultations is amazing, not only for the budget, but also to be able to give the family and caregivers plan moving forward.
Right. I talk to the family, I teach them everything that they need, and then they have a plan for them to follow. So they can always go back to that plan if they have any questions, and then everything is going to be there. It's nothing, but it's just tips and things that you can do to make your life easier in this first 4 months, because it is a roller coaster. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but there are a lot of tips and little things that you can do to make your life better and then your baby sleep better, and a lot of things that take part of it. And then sometimes you don't even realize that it's just one little something that it could help. With the swaddle, it's huge for newborns, or having proper nutrition, a routine, a safe sleep environment, all those things like come in place and then makes everything easier.
100%. And even knowing some of those tips and customizing, there are, of course, different programs that you can purchase online with sleep foundations, but it's not customized to the family. And you get on the phone with them, help them create a plan that works for their schedule, their environment, the caregivers involved. So it's truly customized even at that newborn stage.
Right. All my plans are personalized for the family because you need to adapt, and then it's not one size fits all. So I always try to adapt for that family. Sometimes they have an older child that comes home from soccer or later on a Wednesday, or sometimes families have nannies twice a week, or the grandma, or all of those things that could change. So as long as everyone is in the same page, I can, even when we present this call, sometimes I have a grandma on the call, sometimes I have the nanny, sometimes mom and dad, it kind of all depends, but they all have the same plan or like something to go back to if they have questions or if it gets confusing. And when nowadays, I love that there's so much information, but at the same time, you get so much information all the time, so much information that you don't need or it's not even through. So it's really hard as a newborn mom. You get really confused about everything. And then if you try to get tips from everybody, you just do everything and nothing works. So when you have a plan specific for your family and for your baby, then you're doing the right thing. And then you have something to follow. You're not jumping in a bunch of different things. So, and then you're consistent and then it works.
What does it feel like to truly be cared for in the quiet moments no one else sees? As doulas, we spend so much time talking about supporting mothers through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. But Mother's Day is also a beautiful reminder that moms deserve comfort in the everyday moments too. The early mornings before the house wakes up, bonding time, the late night feeds, the long days at home. That's why I love Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth creates comfort that's designed for the rhythm women actually live. From the softness that greets you when you get out of bed to the pieces that help you unwind at night, everything feels intentional, gentle, and thoughtfully made. I especially love their robes for pregnancy and postpartum. Cozy Earth creates incredibly soft but also practical robes with spacious pockets, adjustable ties for your changing body, and cozy silhouettes that move with you. Whether you prefer plush, quilted, waffle, or stretch knit, each piece feels like a small act of self-care. And let's be honest, downtime at home should feel restorative. Motherhood asks so much of us physically and emotionally. Wrapping yourself in something that feels luxurious, even in the simplest moments, can make such a difference. So whether you're building your hospital bag, updating your postpartum essentials, or looking for a meaningful Mother's Day gift, Cozy Earth is such a beautiful option. Head to cozyearth.com and use my code GOLDCOAST for 20% off your order. And if you see the post-purchase survey, be sure to mention you heard about Cozy Earth right here on Ask the Doulas podcast. Because home starts with mom, and moms deserve to feel supported in every season. You mentioned giving them some tools like against swaddling, for example, and relying on consistency with feeding. I know sometimes there can be the bathing as part of the go to sleep ritual. And what are some of your tips for our listeners in some sleep shaping tool for infants?
So I like to think about some of the sleep foundations. One of the first one, the biggest one for me is nutrition, because a well-fed baby sleeps better. So I try to encourage full feedings during the day instead of constant snacking, which means that making sure the baby's gaining up properly and taking satisfying feeds so nights are not just fooled by hunger every hour. So it's never about not feeding that baby overnight. It's just whenever he feeds, you're offering full feeds. So nutrition is huge. Another thing too, the safe sleep environment. So we need a safe, consistent sleep space. Back to sleep, firm surface, no loose bedding, dark room, white noise, all those little tools help with that nighttime routine is huge. Bedtime routine and also a morning routine is really important. So we have all that like went down routine, something simple. You can just feed, change pajamas and sing a song, but there is something about routine. He knows what is going to happen. So repetition builds that security, and babies, they like that predictability. Like they like to know what's coming. And then all those little things becomes cue that sleep's coming. Morning routine too is really important. Their emotional needs being met. This is also very important because they want to feel safe and connected during the day as well. So babies that feel safe and connected during the day, they settle better and more easily at night. Some of those foundations, it's all things that we can work on during our call. And I just wanted to say that newborn sleep consulting, it's not about forcing independence or letting your baby cry. It's nothing about this. It's just that support and preventing patterns that later feel overwhelming, or sleeping with a parent, or contact naps, or rocking to sleep, and all those things, that those patterns we started breaking from the beginning. So then they don't even get to that habit.
Right. Needing to wean them from contact napping, for example. Yes.
Right. And sometimes it's okay. I never wanted to ask you to deprive your baby from love. So like if you wanted to have that contact nap, have it, as long as you're not sleeping with them. But if grandma comes over, she wants to hold the baby, obviously you could do all of those things. But I also want to encourage you to build healthy sleep habits. So then you guys can just develop in a good road.
So, what are your favorite resources for families other than Gold Coast Doula's site that has some of your sleep packages?
Other resources?
Yes. So, obviously, you mentioned Back to Sleep, and there are a lot of videos and handouts for safe sleep practices.
Oh, right.
So, yes.
Well, I always like to follow AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics. They have great information there. I love Dr. Harper books. There are a bunch of videos about him there.
Happiest baby. Yes.
Right. I read all the books and it's just amazing, amazing info. What else? I like Moms on Call. I like their stuff too. I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind now.
AAP is a great resource. I agree 100% on Harvey Karp. So
AAP, they have like every information you need is gonna be there, and then they have also great resources in their website as well.
Hey, Alyssa here. I'm just popping in to tell you about our course called Becoming. Becoming a Mother is your guide to a confident pregnancy and birth, all in a convenient 6-week online program. From birth plans to sleep training and everything in between, you'll gain the confidence and skills you need for a smooth transition to motherhood. Live coaching calls with me and Kristen, tons of expert videos including chiropractic care, pelvic floor physical therapy, mental health experts, breastfeeding, and so much more. You'll also get a private Facebook community with other mothers going through this at the same time as you to offer support and encouragement when you need it most. If you'd like to learn more about the course, you can email us at info@goldcoastdoulas.com or check it out at thebecomingcourse.com. We would love to see you there. We also have a book called Supported, Your Guide to Birth and Baby, which makes a beautiful companion to this course. It's a great book for any expecting mother and is the perfect baby shower gift. You can find information on that book at supportedbook.com.
So, anything else that we should cover about what a sleep consultation for newborns looks like when working with you?
I try to always be very mindful of your schedule and your everything that goes with your lifestyle. When I build your plan as a mom, I understand the emotional side. Sometimes you hold your baby longer because you want to. Sometimes you do contact naps because it feels good, and that's okay. So I like to say the healthy sleep foundations are not about removing connection. They're about creating balance so the entire family can thrive. So when to seek for help or to get support, if you feel anxious, if you are crying more than your baby, you feel like in survival mode, you can always do newborn plans even when you're pregnant. So you can have everything in place and then you already know what you're doing when the baby comes. But yeah, contact naps are okay. Holding your baby is okay. It's about balance and supporting the whole family and not about perfection. It's about confidence. When parents understand what's normal and have simple, healthy foundations in place, everything feels calmer. And when sleeps improve, the entire home shifts. So happy mom, happy family. That's what I believe in.
Exactly. And you mentioned safety and the focus. A lot of families don't understand all of the safe sleep guidelines because things are changing constantly. Even
All
as
the time.
professionals, we have to keep up with it. But
Right.
the car seat napping, for example, and things that you can show how to have an easy transition from car seat to bassinet, for example, and the unsafe places that a baby could be falling asleep in. And family members may not know some of those stationary pads, like a DockATot, for example, is not meant for sleep.
Or the bouncer or the swing, like all those things, or even the simple thing when he's sleeping on the car seat and then you take the car seat out of the car and put it in your floor because he's still sleeping. It's not safe because the car seat has a base proper the way that it sits for the baby to be safe. And then when you place it on the floor, like it's okay, he's sleeping, he's going to wake up in 10 minutes. And then you're just not really watching the baby. It's not safe. So a lot of parents are like, oh, I thought the car seat was safe. Yes, the car seat's safe if it's on the base in the car. So a lot of those little things that you don't even think about, or even the crib. A lot of parents put a pillow in there or bumpers and stuff like this, or the monitor cord is loose, or so many little things that sometimes you don't even think about it because everything's so new when you have a baby, things that you don't think about when you're just an adult with no kids.
So true. Well, thank you for sharing all of your amazing tips, Mariana. Any final words of wisdom for our audience?
I just think that the first few months are a bit crazy, but it's gonna get better. Your sleep deprivation is real, but it gets better. There's not much we can do in the first little few weeks because the babies do need to eat constantly, but there are support out there and then there are tools that you could use to make this first few months not so crazy and better for you and the family and the baby. So reach out for help and have your support. And so you can really thrive being a mom, being the mom that you want to be, not being that sleep deprived mom that can't even function.
Agreed. Sleep is essential. So thank you for your time. And for our listeners and clients who want to work with Mariana, you can find her on the Gold Coast Doulas website, goldcoastdoulas.com. And she will be sharing more tips in coming months on Instagram and our social media channels. And that's at Gold Coast Doulas. Thank you, Mariana.
I will. Thank you, Kristen. This was great. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to Ask the Doulas. For more information about Gold Coast Doulas, visit us on our website, goldcoastdoulas.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Thank you. Remember, these moments are golden.